why, but I look like I can dance. Anyways, what up, YouTube? It is your girl, Khazimla, and I'm back again with another reaction video, boy! Back again with another reaction video, girl, and today, we're going to be reacting to a horror story. Or, we're going to be reacting to 3 Five Nights at Freddy's stories animated. The video by Horror... What? Horror Shorts Party. Yeah, horror stories. Grab your popcorn and don't wet yourself. Let's get to it.
I just wanna ball, mama, I just want it all. I don't care about the law.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I can't stand Five Nights at Freddy's. I live through the nightmare those games portray, so there is nothing entertaining about them to me. People think it's based on Chuck E. Cheese, but that's just the aesthetic. The truth is, Five Nights at Freddy's is based on a horrific true story, and I was unlucky enough to be at the center of it. Many years ago, I was just a little kid, a scared orphaned boy at the mercy of the foster care system. I was brought into a foster home run by an old retired couple. The grandma-grandpa pair already had multiple foster kids in their care. They were nice, but during our very first conversation, I knew there was something off about them.
Who are you? Can you tell?
Something's very off about them. They're very off. Why are they so huge? Like, they're gigantic. Those eyes.
Tell me your name, mister. I know you're scared, little fella, but I promise you're going to fit right in.
Do you like teddy bears?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see one?
Okay.
All right then. Why don't you follow me?
I thought they were going to give me a new stuffed animal as a welcoming gift, but instead, I was shown their creations. 5 gigantic animal costumes were sitting around the house, each of them some kind of home-sewn amalgamation of different parts.
I want to say right now, I do not like humanoid creatures. I do not like humanoid creatures. I just want to put that out there.
No idea if they were supposed to be bears or rabbits, so I just pretended they were a kind of animal I hadn't learned about yet. In fact, I couldn't even look at them. Something about it just creeped me the hell out. I knew I made the right call when I finally got to talk to some other kids. According to them, our foster parents worked hard to create them just so the kids had something cool to look at or play with when walking around the house. Later on, I made friends with a kid I'll just call Sean. We quickly became close as we shared a room and a teacher at school. We did pretty much everything together. I was happy to have a friend as well as a new home, but the longer I lived there, the worse things seemed to get. Gradually, a stench built up in every room and every corner of the house. Nobody could figure out where it was coming from. Beyond our general living conditions, creepy things were happening more and more. At night, I could hear noises outside my room. They sounded like distant screams somewhere, but I was too scared to leave my room to check. Along with everyone else, I started to lose sleep. I was wide awake every night, trying my hardest not to listen to those horrible noises, but I always failed, leaving me falling asleep all day at school. One day, my friend Sean got sick. I got out of bed and went to get him up so we could get ready together, but he could barely keep his eyes open. I didn't know what was wrong with him. Our foster parents said he was running a fever, so he would have to stay home. I didn't want to go to school alone, but I didn't have a choice. When school was done, I went home. Sadly, the second I walked through the door, both my foster parents were right there waiting for me with awful news.
Oh my god. That music was so unnecessary. Again, why are they so fucking huge, bruh? Oh, that music was so unnecessary. That music was so unnecessary.
They told me Sean had been taken out of the foster program. He was gone. I didn't even get to say goodbye. Devastated, I went to my room to cry for a while, but it was about to get so much worse than I ever could have imagined. The second I walked into my room, I saw it. There was a new monstrous costume sitting in the middle of the floor, and its eyes, they were human. They were familiar. I'd seen those eyes before just that morning, but now they were hidden behind all these wrong, fake animal parts.
They made old boy a bear? They made him into a teddy? And kept his eyes? Oh, bro, come on. Oh, just giving me another reason not to like these things. These type of things.
Right down the stairs and out of that nightmare house before anyone could catch me. The first person I ran into, I begged them to call the cops. Finally, the police searched the house, and my foster parents were arrested when the grisly truth was unearthed. All the costumes in the house were filled with corpses. Those demonic people.
That was the lightest flashing ever. That was the lightest flashing ever, and my whole body just. Yeah, I'm not made for this shit. God damn. Oh, so it's not just the eyes, it's the whole. Oh my god, bro.
Had been sewing their foster children into these animal suits, cutting and twisting and breaking their bodies, reforming them with brutal amateur surgery into the abominations I was living with. The foster care program was just their scheme to collect more victims. The worst part is what they did to my friend Sean. They made him sick and helpless by overdosing him with medications, then put him through hell to make him fit into that costume, placing him in our room for me to discover like it was some kind of sick joke. But unfortunately for them, my mind hadn't yet been broken. Not completely anyway. I knew Sean was in there, and I wasn't going to stick around to share his fate. The news of this story shocked the small town I lived in. But this all happened before the days of the internet, so it managed to stay our town's darkest secret. That was until someone turned my most traumatic experience into Five Nights at Freddy's and put it on blast for the whole world to see. Thanks to those games, I now face constant reminders of what happened. This FNAF story was inspired by a viral incident involving a couple named Martha and Eugene.
Oh my god. Okay.
Grimes, who were known for fostering children and aiding the needy, but were really harboring dark secrets in their Victorian home. A series of disturbing photos showcases the Grimes couple, terrified victims, and horrifying bear costumes, which were allegedly what the Grimes couple used as taxidermy for their victims. It was said that the couple took out dozens of foster children by sewing them into animal costumes. Guests seeking refuge were sedated by the Grimes and forcibly stitched into animal costumes, turned into unwilling performers for a perverse entertainment. The Grimes' grotesque charade continued undetected for 18 years, the truth hidden by the couple's veneer of generosity and community spirit. The horrors were unearthed in 2022 when a former foster child, triggered by the game Five Nights at Freddy's, recalled the trauma, leading to a shocking investigation. As the investigation deepened, authorities uncovered a mass grave on the property's outskirts. Amidst the overgrowth, many victims were found, still grotesquely bound within their property's outskirts. Amidst
Look at this nigga. Look at his eyes. Oh my god. Move. Is my Wi-Fi not connected? Why is it not zooming in? Look at the eyes, bro. You can clearly see. Oh no.
the overgrowth.
My parents left me home alone for the weekend. They gave me a list of chores and a bunch of rules like don't answer the door for strangers, don't have any friends over, that sort of thing. I promised I would do everything they said, but really, I just wanted them to leave. Wouldn't any kid want the house to themselves?
Yeah.
Once they were gone, I got to do whatever I wanted. I ate junk food, played video games, and even got to surf the internet on sites I usually wasn't allowed to go on when they were around. Later in the evening, as I was cleaning up and getting ready for bed, I heard a knock at the door.
Don't go. It's not
I didn't believe it at first, but I couldn't stand to ignore it. so I snuck down.
As a kid who is left at home alone, and it is night, and you are in your bed all snug, you hear a knock. If your parents are not coming back late, don't open it. Don't even go and find out who it is. It is none of your business. You are supposed to be in dreamland. Go to sleep. Don't get curious.
To look through the people. I was expecting to see some kids running away from playing Ding Dong Ditch, but instead, it was a guy in a purple suit. Not having a clue what he wanted, I stayed quiet and out of sight, hoping the guy would just give up and leave. When I put my eye back up to the people, I nearly lost my shit, because I saw the man's face pressed right up against it.
I know you're home. Open the door, Michael.
How the hell do you know my name?
Oh,
The same reason I know you're all alone.
he was watching in the bushes.
Told you.
He was watching in the bushes. He was watching in the bushes. He was watching in the bushes. Call 911, Michael. Go tell him, be like, okay, I'm gonna go get the key. 911. This guy has been watching me in the bushes. He's standing by my door. Like, he was watching you
You're
by the bushes.
lying. Why would they do that?
Asking
Because
too many
they
questions.
wanted me to deliver to you a gift, Michael. Don't you see?
The man then stepped aside, revealing a huge box, big enough for him to fit inside. However, I almost felt convinced this guy was actually a friend of my parents. Despite how frightening it all felt, I ended up opening the door for him. To my surprise, he didn't immediately rush in and attack me like I was worried he would. He just stood there with a huge grin on his face. I then stepped aside to allow the man to push the box inside. After that, he was gone. I immediately closed and locked the door, leaving me alone once again, except for the unknown giant box. Starting from the top, I grabbed a corner of the box and started slowly tearing it down. I uncovered about 2 feet and then I saw it, the face staring back at me. I almost wish it was a human face, but in a way, it was much worse. It was the face of a life-size dummy of Freddy Fazbear. It didn't make sense. I hadn't been to Freddy Fazbear's pizzeria since I was a kid. Last time I heard about it, the place was getting shut down. And then, it finally dawned on me. My parents must have bought the real Freddy Fazbear at an auction. Thankfully, he was still in the box, just like an action figure. Surely he didn't work anymore. So I just left him like that and went back upstairs to my room.
Wow.
Earlier, I had planned to sleep, but after that whole interaction, I was antsy as hell. I played some video games for a few more hours until I passed out. However, every time I went downstairs to grab something to drink or eat, I saw it in the corner of my eye. To be honest, it was as creepy as hell. I didn't want to look directly at him, but I wanted to make sure he was still there, and that he hadn't moved like the video games. As far as I could tell, he was lifeless. Eventually, I got tired enough to get into bed. Yet, just as I let my guard down, it started. The noises. The last thing I wanted to do was go down there, so I pulled out my phone to check the CCTV cameras my parents had placed all around the house. Camera 1 was front porch. Nothing. But camera 2 was the foyer, where Freddy was supposed to be. But there was nothing there anymore. It was just a box, but no Freddy. He was alive and loose in my house. Flipping through the cameras like a madman, I found him moments later, standing still in the kitchen. As I kept changing the view of the cameras, I noticed he was getting closer to me. I begged and prayed that he would not be able to climb.
Stop watching. Oh no. Oh no. I'm off the bed in the closet. I'm off the bed out the window. I'm off the bed out the fucking window. Bruh. Like this nigga's like, oh, he's getting closer to you. And you're just... bruh. The second clip I saw, and I just like realized that he's from this room to a room that's like closer to mine but still further away. I'm off the bed onto the window, jumping out that window. I'm not even gonna be tying sheets. I'm jumping out that window. What? What do you mean, bro?
The
I'm about to lose a life.
stairs, but then I didn't have to watch to know where he was anymore. As soon as he took the first step, I could hear him. I put down my phone. I couldn't look anymore. There was a camera in the hallway outside my door, but I just couldn't watch. I didn't want to listen either, but second by second, he drew closer, until he finally stopped right outside my bedroom.
Are you still in bed?
With trembling hands, I grabbed my phone and pulled up the camera feed again, checking everywhere, but Freddy had just disappeared. I didn't know where he'd gone, though I couldn't leave the door open, so I stood up to close it.
I was so nervous. And we have reached the end of the video. Now I do want to just say I didn't end the video halfway just because I got scared. No, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt bad for y'all. Because I'm like, I don't want to get y'all bad dreams, you know, because I love y'all and I appreciate y'all and I'm grateful for y'all. And I don't want y'all to have bad dreams, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to have sweet dreams. Yeah. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why I was like, nah, man, after that little jump scare, let me just, for my peoples. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part, your least favorite part. And, you know, yeah. I love y'all. And I'm going to protect y'all from scary shit like that. Yeah. Cause I'm brave. Yeah. 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 Peace.